Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Golf. I hope you're having a great day and, as we say, even better week. Today we're talking about the best golf shoes for the end of 24, early 25, and what we've done differently this year. We've taken every pair of golf shoes that was worth really testing them. So there's a team of 7 that I use, and we have tested every brand from Adidas all the way down to Under Armour. So any shoe that made sense, we reviewed. What we have done is we've taken the best shoe and the best value shoe for each brand, and we'll highlight them today. And at the very end, we'll tell you who we think is the best shoe for a wide foot, the best soft spike, the best hard spike, all those different things. It won't be a long review, I promise, but we will rip through every brand of golf shoes in 2024 and early 2025. So the first pair up, and I don't have some of these in front of me because other people are still testing, so bear with us here, is Adidas. And Adidas had really 2 pair of shoes that we thought were, I think, head and shoulders over the rest of theirs. The best overall shoe, and I'll put pictures up now, is the Tour 2024. We happen to test it in the all-white colorway, and I'll put pictures up that now. Unlike the 2022 version that literally rubbed your heel and Achilles raw the first couple times out, this shoe was flawless. Great traction, great support, love the comfortability, a really, really, really good shoe. The best value shoe for them is the S2G24 in the leather, and I'll put pictures up of this as well. Where the Tour is a $200 shoe, this shoe is right around between 100 and 110, depending on what you're looking at. And I felt personally, this is one I tested as well, that I thought it was just under the quality of the Tour, but almost half the price. So for Adidas, those are the 2 best shoes from their brand. The next brand up is the Allbirds Dasher, and I've worn Allbirds, and you guys have seen reviews in the past of some of their running shoes, and I really like those shoes. So we tried the Dasher, and the Dasher comes in right around $145, and the picture's up, you're probably seeing now. Really good shoe, casual. I would not say this is a shoe I would wear to a tournament or a very competitive or very wet round. Slippage was definitely there a little bit on moist and damp days. Overall, a good shoe, but again, we thought of all the shoes that Allbirds had, the Dasher was the best, and especially at the price point of $145. The next shoe up, which we have tested extensively, is the Athlons Mana, and this is the Pro. A couple things we loved about this shoe is the comfort. This may look familiar with another brand we had just kind of talked about. Kind of comfort-wise, is this shoe is a 10 out of 10 comfort-wise. The traction almost looks like a baseball spike. The shoe is tremendous. It is a phenomenal shoe, both in soft and dry conditions. This shoe did extremely well. I would say the only knock, really 2 things, is the price point. This comes in around $285, not exactly the cheapest golf shoe, probably the highest quality we've reviewed this year. And the other thing, if you're a wider foot, check this shoe out. I have a narrow-ish foot, and this shoe I really had to kind of lace up tight. My toe box and everything was good, but really the forefoot up here, I had to really kind of snug up. So if you're a wider foot or a wider shoe guy, give the Athlons a check, because this may be the perfect shoe for you. I mean, the Achilles cushion, comfort is out of the world with this shoe, and again, if you're a wider foot, this is probably maybe the most perfect golf shoe for you this year. So a brand that we really hadn't touched before is the Haan, and I'll put pictures up of this one. This is the Grand Pro Ashland, and this is a water-resistant, not waterproof shoe. Right around $155. I thought the traction was fine, nothing to really write home about. The style is very subjective when you look at all the different styles. Haan, who used to be owned by Nike, has now a lot of different golf shoes. They're kind of getting back into it. I think the last couple of years they had some really odd, heavy price point shoes in the $250 to $300 range that I don't think did well. I think this shoe fits fine, true to size for me. For this one, I wore a 9.5, and it's a 9.5. Overall, a good shoe, not great. I'd like to see them waterproof it. You can get this shoe on sale for around $100 now. So if you're trying to check out a Haan, they usually have one of the colorways on sale, or certainly with the promotions. So that's the Cole Haan Grand Pro Ashland. The next brand up is a brand I had seen last year that I thought, boy, it has an interesting look, and I got lucky enough to test these out a few times. And that is the Duca Del Cosma, and this is the Devonte, and this is more the blue and white and orange colorway. Love the look of this shoe. Comfort to me was really good. The only thing I would say that's disappointing, there's no half sizes. So if you're a 9.5, which I kind of tend to roll in, you either go up or down. I went down and wore a 9. It fit pretty true to size, so I was kind of surprised. It's more of a true European fit, where like I'm a 42 and a half on European, which is a 9 or 9.5. Shoe is really good. Price point is up there, $249, not a cheap golf shoe. I think the only other issues we have domestically is they're not sold in a lot of places. So I ordered direct to consumer from their website. Very good shoe. Overall, really like these. Again, kind of the sizing can be a little goofy, and they ran on the narrow-ish side. They did not run wide, so if you have a really wide foot, probably not the brand. So that's Duca Del Cosmo. The next shoe up, I probably get, besides golf bag questions, I probably get more emails about this particular shoe, and that's the Ecco C4, and we tested the boa and the laces. I'm going to preface this because I'm not trying to slant this review. Eccos don't traditionally have ever fit me well, and so I had 2 other people test these as well. One they absolutely loved. The other person was kind of the same boat. They couldn't get it to fit. And what I mean by fit, they're a little wider than I would say I'm used to, and their true 42 is like an 8, so it's a shorter shoe, and it just doesn't fit me great. So forget what I just said. Let's go into what my testers have said. One guy absolutely loved them, said they were the top 2 or 3 golf shoe in the market, and the other guy had the same fit problem. When he would go, he had mentioned when he was trying to hit side hill or downhill lies, he almost felt like the shoe was coming out, and that's how I've kind of felt with these shoes. So sizing, I think if you can get to an Ecco store, someone who has those, like a Foot Locker, a Golf Galaxy or a Dick's, or someone who has an Ecco, I would say check them out, see how they fit, and then kind of go from there. But again, not a cheap shoe either. $275 for the boa. So the other thing for me, you know, if I'm spending $275, I would like a shoe that has a little more of a cleat or a spike to it. So when I'm playing in winter or end of fall, when it's really wet and damp, I want something that really kind of clamps down. But still, I think Ecco's best shoe, and again, that's the C4. FootJoy, oh boy, I mean, I could do this for an hour. FootJoy, I think, has 2 shoes that stand out really, I think, over everything else, and there's a lot of great shoes. I think the first one is the Premier Series, and I don't care if you get the Packard or any other ones. They're just high-quality shoes. They'll last you year after year after year. I think value, they are there. The other shoe that we have just launched, you probably be watching this maybe before or after, their brand new shoe that we had just tested and reviewed, the Quantum. Guys, I can't tell you enough how great this golf shoe is. I think if the traction was a little more conducive for wet weather, this would be their best golf shoe. This is their most comfortable golf shoe. I absolutely love the Quantum. The other one I think that has the best value shoe is the Tradition line. I think if you go saddle or non-saddle, I think bang for your buck, the cushioning is a 9.5 out of 10. I think overall quality, it's there. You guys know, if you watch, you know, you can watch an old review we did last year. I mean, I had my Traditions for 2.5 years with 80, 90 rounds on them, and they held up incredibly well and were still comfortable, and they had replaceable spikes, which I love. So for FootJoy, I think the best 2 options are the Premier, or I would say definitely check out the Quantum, and I think best value is the Tradition line. Now we'll talk G4. So I've tested every G4 there is. Gallivantors, the G112s. I mean, literally every G4 we have tested and tested and tested. And I think at the end of the day, the shoes that I like the most are the G112s. And I think the traction is really good. Again, it's not the greatest on cold, wet days. But overall, This shoe comfort is incredible. There is no break-in period. I think it is probably the best, easiest shoe to buy and go to the course. And I tell you, the first time I wore these last year, as I wore these and walked 18, and they were flawless. I really like the G112s. I think the price point's high. I think they're in the $225, I think, for them. They're not cheap golf shoes. Has a nice little waterproof warranty. They clean up well. These run, I would say, very true to your athletic size. I think if you are a 9.5 in Nike or Adidas in running shoes, get a 9.5 in G4, and you're usually pretty good. I know the new ones that we'll review later in the year, they ran a little funky size-wise, but these, the Gallivant Tours or the Gallivant Tours 2Rs with the replaceable spikes as well, fit pretty true to size. G4, great shoe, a little pricey, but very cool, and you'll get a lot of comments for sure when you wear these. Now we're getting to the Jordan brand. I kind of separate them from Nike, and of all the shoes they've had, of all the retro ones they've done, I still like the Jordan 1 Low. You guys know we've done multiple reviews of those this year. I would say sizing, let's pick on that first. They run half a size down. So if you're a 9.5 and normally in golf shoes, go down half a size to a 9, for example. Like these shoes, again, kind of like we just talked about with the G4, really good in drier conditions, not great in super wet conditions. Very comfortable golf shoe. I know people look at the Jordan 1 Low and think, how can this shoe be comfortable? It is a comfortable golf shoe and it's done really well. I think I have 3 or 4 colorways in the other room. They've done really, really good. But again, size-wise, go down half a size, and you'll be pleasantly surprised on how great the Jordan 1 Low really is of a golf shoe. For Nike, my friends in Beaverton, really 2 shoes that I think stood out. We have kind of a best overall and then the best value. The best overall to me is the Infinity Tour 2, and that's kind of with the non-replaceable spikes, the Brooks Koepka shoe. We've tested these a lot, really good. The traction is really good on these. Fit-wise is a little funny. I'm a 9.5 in Nike. I tried a 9.5 and a 10. I end up going with the 10 because the 9.5 just felt really, really tight. And again, we had the same problem with the Air Infinity 1 or the Tour, the previous one. I don't know how their last may be obviously different, but I'm not really sure how we're running into a sizing issue. Their best overall value to me is the 89 Pegasus. Very cool looking shoe, very comfortable out of the box, between $89 and $120 depending where you catch them on sale. Great golf shoe, but a good alternative if you want to be if you're a Nike guy and you want a shoe for golf. Maybe, and the Roshi's not a bad option, but the Pegasus 89 to me was the best bang for your buck for Nike. Next brand up is New Balance. I'm going to try to get through these pretty quick. I know you're probably already half asleep. New Balance $997. It's a $150 price point. I think they're fine golf shoes. If you're a New Balance guy, I think they're good. Every time I tested them, I felt like I was playing baseball. They just have a certain look to them. My dad still wears $997 and $998, so it's a little different looking golf shoe would wear. Waterproofness, all that stuff was fine. Didn't have any issues. Comfort, I think, was okay. Again, nothing to write home about. Took multiple rounds for this shoe to really break in and be comfortable. I like the spikes on these, had no issues with slippage. But again, if you're a New Balance guy and want a shoe, I think the 997s is probably the best shoe they offer and a really good option for the price point. The next one up is the Nobull, and they don't really name theirs, so the one we tested was just called their leather shoe, and I'll put pictures up of it now. The Nobull is an interesting golf shoe. I don't think, and I'll put information up, I don't think they have a real waterproof warranty. I didn't have any issues when we tested these. Soft spike, like it seems like the majority of where the golf world has gone. I think since Ecco has done that a number of years ago, I think the whole world has kind of said, well, let's do soft spikes. Ecco had a great run at it. Let's all do it. Didn't have any issues with slippage. Comfortability was good. Did take me about a round to break these in. Very minimal branding, just the word Nobull on it. Someone had commented to me, which is funny because you guys say I have 1,000 pairs of white golf shoes, and he said those kind of look like nurses' shoes. Take it for what you want. I didn't have any issues with the styling. It's just very plain. And they don't really do a ton. They have a lot of, they keep their colors very basic. They do other things with the sole, applique, and that kind of stuff. But overall, a good shoe. I think the only problem I have personally with the Nobull is the price point. I just think for 180 bucks, it's not I think there's better options. But again, true to size to us, I had no issues with sizing. Fit great. Just took about a round or so to break in. The next one up is the Oukai, and I'll put the pictures up here, and this is the Manel, I think it's pronounced. I really like these shoes. I was really surprised. I'm not a big fan of the gimmicky where you can knock the heel down. I want support back there, and maybe that's where this shoe is a little odd to me. But fit great, felt great. I actually had to go up half a size to I think a 9.5 in these. So not a 9, I think a 9.5. And it's weird, in the flip-flops I wear Oukai and I'm a 10. So go figure. Really good shoe. I think they fit great. Again, a better shoe for drier conditions. Didn't do great. Had a couple times we slipped in these when it was really wet. The other thing too is I think the colorways are a little odd. If you want a kind of a simple white and navy or white or black colorway, they really don't offer it, at least at the time when we reviewed. So that's the only really thing. Great shoe though. If you're in a warmer climate like Florida, California, and you just need an everyday shoe, man, the Oukai is a great golf shoe. And I think the price point, right around 150 bucks before promotions, is a really, really good shoe. The next brand up is Payntr, and you guys know we were one of the, I say one of the first, but we did a really extensive review last year on their shoes. My favorite is the 002. Of all of these, this is actually an old pair of an 001s, but I would say if you can get your hands on a pair of the 001s, this has happened to be the white kind of polyester or polyurethane material. Phenomenal shoe. Have very little issues with slippage. Every once in a while I'll catch myself, or as you guys know, Joe had them as well, I catch him slipping sometimes on the turf or what have you. But really good shoe. They do run true to size, so if you're a 9.5 in athletic, get a 9.5, don't go down. Really comfortable shoes. I think this may be one of the best brands in golf shoes right now. I think the only thing that these guys really aren't doing, and then that's their world, is all their shoes kind of look alike. So if you get a 1 or a 4 or a 3 or a 2, they all kind of look alike, and that's probably their marketing. But sometimes it's hard to tell when you're paying a premium for a $220 pair or a $120 pair. They look alike, but really comfortable shoes. Definitely recommend the Payntrs. Again, the 002, we've tested the 004, these are the 001s. I don't think you'll do wrong in any of them, and again, they're just really good golf shoes. The next brand up is the Puma, and this is the Phantom Cat. This shoe's $180. Has that very cool looking little, what I call a little cactus looking spikes. These ran true to size to us, 9.5 for me. Really like these shoes, really like the colorways, really like what Puma's doing overall. Was really impressed with this golf shoe. Had no slippage really in any conditions. Overall, really good shoe. I think their only issue is trying to really get out more into the market. And I think some of their other styles, personally, they really haven't evolved. It's the same looking shoe for the last 5 or 6 years, but I really like this one. I think this is a good golf shoe, and I think for $180 price point, it's probably where it should be. But if you haven't checked them out, the Puma Phantom Cat is definitely one of the best shoes in 2024 and 2025. The next shoe up, and this was a brand that I didn't think we would test, but it actually was way better than we had thought, was the Skechers Golf Pro. $130 price point, not a real high-end shoe. I would say we had very mixed reviews. We had multiple pairs of these being tested. 2 of the guys loved them. 2 of the guys did not like them at all. So this shoe was the most opposites. 2 guys loved them, 2 hated them. Sizing was pretty spot on. I tested a pair. I just thought, honestly, they were okay. A little stiff at the beginning. $130 price point's a great price point for these shoes. I like what Skechers is doing. I think sometimes their shoes, like some of these, they're more function over form, which is fine for a golf shoe. I just think they could change the aesthetics a little bit and make it a little more appealing to the masses. But for 130 bucks, not a bad golf shoe. The next brand up, and we are still in the midst of testing these, but so far we like them, and that's the Sqairz. And this is the Velo, or Velo, I think they're pronounced. Really like these shoes. I would say sizing for these, go down half a size. Like if you're a 9.5 in Nike, go to a 9 in these. These are really made to kind of spread your foot out a little more. I liked it. It's the first time I wore these. I actually walked 18 just to kind of really test them, and they held up really good. It's a combination kind of soft spikes and spikes, and we'll get into a full review later. Really like the Sqairz. Comfortability, it did take at least one round to break them for me, and then they've been great since, but still testing it, still like these a lot. Not a cheap golf shoe, $210, very high-end quality, very high-end feel when you get these. Again, I think the aesthetic is subjective. We'll get into that as our full review later in the year, but really like this shoe. Again, go down half a size for the Velos, but really, really good golf shoe. Next pair up is the True Linkswear, and I'll put pictures up now, of the True All Day in the ripstop at $170 price point. I like these shoes. I wasn't enamored by them. I think they're really good shoes. They're a low drop shoe to kind of give you more of a flat. I have a high arch in my feet, so it doesn't really help me a ton. I need a little bit of an arch support, not a little, a lot of arch support. These were really good shoes. This is not a shoe, I know they're made to walk, and this is not a shoe that I would want to walk 18 holes in round after round after round. I know guys swear by them. I think they're really good shoes. They just didn't fit my foot great. Another tester we had loved them. I would like to see them, you know, implement some type of more, a little heavier duty spikes on these, because I think the soft spikes, and when I played them in the spring were I don't want to say a lot slippage, but I definitely had a couple holes where I felt my right foot sliding out on me. But overall, good shoe. If you want a low drop, this is the shoe to get for golf. The last one up is the Under Armour UA Phantom. I think maybe one of the most comfortable golf shoes. Really surprised. We had the Nike, oh boy. We had the navy colorway, really good shoe. Surprised by this. Sizing was a little off for me. I had to go up to a 10 if anybody is concerned, but I like what Under Armour does. I'm just surprised, to be honest with you, that Under Armour doesn't get more run. I know they only have Jordan Spieth on tour, and maybe they have other people that we don't know of, but the main one we hear of is Jordan Spieth, and since he hasn't won a ton in the last couple of years, maybe that's why. But I think Under Armour has some great products. It's weird how it's one of these brands that people love or hate. I like Under Armour a lot. I like everything they kind of put out. This shoe was really good for us, very comfortable, really enjoyed this shoe. And I think at the I think it's $155, $140 price point, I correct myself. It's a great golf shoe, and I think super comfortable. I think for June, July, August, September-ish, phenomenal golf shoe. October, November, probably not be my pick for wet conditions. Unless you're in Florida, then October, November, knock yourself out. Really, really good shoe from Under Armour. And again, sizing around a little small for us. So now that you've heard every brand, or you fast forward through every brand, let's get into kind of who's the best of our favorites for this year. And really the best overall shoes. I think there's really three that I was really shocked with testing this year. And the first one was the G112 by G4. I just think it's a very comfortable golf shoe. You see guys wear it. I've seen guys on tour wear it. Just a very comfortable golf shoe. The other shoe that I think that may surprise some of you guys is the brand new FootJoy Quantum. It is that good of a golf shoe. It is. And if you watch a review from last week or so, it is the most comfortable FootJoy I've ever worn. But they are super comfortable, there's nothing I disliked about the Phantom besides I wish they had some type of a little more heavier duty spike for fall and winter. And the other shoe which I really like, and you guys know I liked them last year, is the Payntr 002. But if you can get the 001 or the 04 or the 6 or whatever colorway you can get, or you're not going to go wrong by Payntr. I think they're that good of a golf shoe. The best wet condition shoe for me, there's no questions about it. I really have two. The Adidas Tour from 24 was phenomenal this year. I mean, that shoe was a rock solid. And these guys, the new SLX this year was, when it was shitty, when it was bad conditions or poor conditions, I wore these and I never slipped one time. These, the Pro SLX, are probably, oh man, these guys are like cleat monsters. Such a good job in wet conditions, really all conditions. I actually, besides testing, wore these shoes more than anything else. Now, this is September, so I still have some time to go, but I wore these shoes more than anything else. When I had my choice of just grabbing a pair of golf shoes, I wore the Pro SLX. Great golf shoe. I love the colorways. I think FootJoy has been killing it, and I think this is just another example of another great quality FootJoy product. The best wide shoe option besides buying a wide is the Athlons Mono. I mean, these were, again, run a little wide, the best quality of a golf shoe by far. Of all the shoes I've tested this year, best quality by far. There's not even something that comes close to these guys. Again, I would love to see them narrow this up a little bit, and I think it would be literally the ultimate golf shoe. The aesthetics, now they have an all-white one. Really like this shoe. Again, if you have a wide-ish foot, check out the Athlons. Not inexpensive shoes, but as I said, you get what you pay for. Love the Athlons. The best overall value, and I'm not trying to say buying things on sale because you'll get a better value, but I think the best overall value of any golf shoe we've done this year is Adidas SG24, and I'll put pictures up of it again. Love this shoe. It is a good looking shoe. It is a modern looking shoe. If you do the leather, it has a nice waterproof warranty, 110 bucks. Just a great overall golf shoe. And again, I'm not talking about things that are on sale because people say, well, Jeff, I can get the Jordan 1 lows for 80 bucks. I'm talking about for retail price. I think the Adidas SG24 is the best value in golf shoes for 24 and 25. And lastly, and I appreciate you hanging on, the biggest shock shoe for me this year was the Sqairz. And I had heard about Sqairz. I had tested the Sqairz. First round in, I tell you, I didn't think much of it. And as we went, I really enjoyed the Sqairz. Again, the biggest shock, besides, I think the winners was definitely the Sqairz Velo shoe that you'll see in a review coming down the road at some point. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this extremely long review, but we wanted to go over every shoe and not just highlight brands that we like, but really almost every golf shoe brand there is, and really give you our inside scoop of what we think of them, how we've tested them, and really all that other good stuff. So if you're new here, please subscribe, please like, please let us know if you have any questions on any of the things we covered today or anything else, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.